there is a dichotomy in the aviation industry at the moment where we're seeing airlines' profitability, especially at the top end of the market in the premium and corporate sector, are they're doing really well. So Delta Airlines, United Airlines doing really well. At the other end of the market, there's the likes of Spirit Airlines that's in its second bankruptcy. Oof. You've got the other sort of low-cost carriers that are struggling to fill up seats, and that's partly on account of the fact that low-cost carriers, their customer base is still hurting from the sort of tariffs and the economic uncertainty, whereas for the top end of the market, they seem to be traveling as normal, actually.
Yeah, it's the manifestation of the K-shaped economy, right, where the higher-income consumer is doing much better than the lower-end consumer. The CEO of Delta, Ed Bastian, said in the earnings report that our customer is financially in a good spot. Sid, who exactly is Delta's customer? Because it's not the same, as you said, as, for instance, Spirit or Southwest, or even, you can argue, United.
Sure. I mean, Delta Airlines, they frequently talk about how their customer is in the sort of average of over 100,000 earnings, in $100,000 a year in terms of earnings, and they sort of are looking for experiences. They're looking to sort of travel premium. They're not looking to sort of go coach and sort of nickel and dime their way through the aviation experience, and they're sort of more willing to splurge on experiences, and that's sort of the post-pandemic revenge traveler who is now continuing to sort of spend money on travel. And they seem to be suggesting that people are willing to keep going and keep traveling and keep spending money on experiences and holidays.
Well, if United beats their numbers this quarter, it's because of what I spent to get over to Italy. Spared no expense to get over there. I needed the rest. Talk to us about just visibility. These airlines, do they have some pretty decent visibility on their bookings?
So they do. They've been talking about how their visibility into the holiday quarter, into the fourth quarter of the year, is looking good at the moment. They're seeing demand being strong as they get into the close of the year, and that's at least Delta Airlines is talking about how they expect corporate travel to continue to be so solid and robust in 2026. They're saying that companies that they surveyed are seeing continued appetite for corporate travel. So it remains to be seen what actually materializes. Airlines had massive forecasts for record growth this year, and then sort of Liberation Day came around and that sort of torpedoed that, and they've now sort of come back to those levels, but remains to be seen what surprises come out next year. I'm
so glad you bring that up, because earlier this year, Delta warned of an abrupt slowdown, or I don't know that it actually saw one. It just said it was seeing it on the horizon. Has that been completely erased and turned around now?
For the moment, it does look like it is smoother skies for them. But at the same time, we don't really know what's going to happen in the current economic environment or what demand looks like as we go into 2026. And that's something that we need to watch as the airlines sort of report their fourth quarter results and sort of talk about their future forecasts.
What are the big airlines, the big ones you mentioned, United, Deltas, what are they doing with capacity? Are they adding capacity, trimming it back? I don't know what they're doing with routes. I don't know if they have enough planes, all that kind of stuff.
So they have been, Delta's been adding capacity. They've been retiring older planes and taking on new planes. And so they seem to be adding a little bit of capacity. And we're also seeing, United talk about how they are upgrading their fleet. They're replacing their older aircraft with 787s and Maxes. And so we are seeing the US carriers upgrade their fleets, and that's sort of adding more capacity, especially as they upgauge aircraft. So they sort of replace smaller narrow bodies with the larger A321 or the MAX 9, and that sort of adds more seats and more capacity. But then at the same time, they're also premiumizing the cabins. So they're adding more business class cabins and more premium economy than they ever did before.
Premiumizing, that is a new word. I had not heard of it, but it makes a lot of sense.
The premium economy coming back from Italy was actually like the old first class in terms of
really?
Room. I was shocked at how much room there was in this.
How far back can you recline?
Just the normal one.
Okay.
So, but it was just way more legroom. And it wasn't that much money. It was like a couple $100 to upgrade from it. So that was pretty interesting.
And that's a big part of Delta's push, right? Pushing these premium products in the cabin. What about on the ground? What is Delta doing on the ground to really harness its customers' desire for a premium experience?
So they're partnering they have that partnership with Uber. They've sort of added more of those Delta One lounges, and they're sort of doing those credit card partnerships, and those are all sort of ways to keep customers sticky and keep them engaged. Because I mean, the moment you're sort of signed into the ecosystem, you're more likely to book with them and sort of not really use price comparison websites. You're more likely to sort of keep going.
Customer for life kind of thing.
Yeah.